Hey everybody and welcome to Adventures with Peps. Today we are painting a Warlord Games Strontian dog, the torso of Newcastle, aka George Moore. Let's get into it. But who was George Moore? Well, he was the torso from Newcastle who, along with Midden Face McNulty, Johnny Alpha, the Clacton Fuzz, Studs Boyce and Evans the Fist, led the mutant army and rose up against Nielsen Bunker. Oof. He ultimately survived the war and became a search and destroy agent, and actually went on to star in quite a lot of the comics after that, until he was ultimately killed by the Styx brothers, which, that was a sad time. He really shouldn't have been killed off. He ultimately was an amazing bounty hunter, a skilled pilot. He physically was a peak human male, and he couldn't speak, so he mostly spoke with sign language. And weirdly enough, I saw him as a child and absolutely adored the character. So when I saw Warlord Games had made him, I knew I had to get him. He has languished on my shelf for a while now because I bought the kit just as they were bringing an end to the actual figure collection, which Warlord Games I've still not forgiven you for. You need to re-release the figures so that I can at least complete my set. But let's get into painting them. So I primed the model black, I then dry brushed it and decided that the dry brush wasn't strong enough. So we've gone back in with the white scars. We're going a lot heavier. Traditionally, as you would see in the Warlord Games figures, if you look at them, he normally wears green and orange. It's a very similar color scheme to Johnny Alpha. I think it was meant to be based on a military uniform. That is not how I wanted mine painted, so I'm going with one of the later strips where he's actually dressed in red and white. So I've got to make sure this initial dry brush is nice and heavy. So while I'm doing that, let's skip forward. With this only being a two-color model, i.e. the white and the red, I got to be careful with the red. You will notice that I slip up a little bit with the blood. I think it's blood red by the army painter, and I get it on the white area. This comes back to bite me so hard. Like, no matter how many times I tried to cover the red with the white, it kept bleeding through. I don't know why. I let the damn thing dry, or at least I thought I did, and it just kept coming through. I actually had to leave it a full day. Had to make sure the red was 100% dry. And still then, it took a couple of coats, but you won't notice that at the end. It's just, I don't know why this red really fought through the white. But the beautiful thing about this model, which hopefully you're going to see as I'm painting it, it's covered in so much detail. He's got his little knobbly bits on the arms. He's got ribbon all over his top and his legs. There's a lot of detail to this model. I feel a bit guilty only doing him red and white. It seemed a little easy, but I really love how it looks in the comic, and I think the final model just looks so cool as well. So I'm going to complete this red stage and then we'll pop back in. The next step we have to get done is just touching up the white, going around the model. I'm going to redo his shoes so they're brighter. I'm going to do knee pads. There's some belt pouches. I'm going to attempt to cover up the red where it's spilt. And that is going to be step one of many, many, many steps where I try and fix it. You can see that instantly it went pink. There's no pink on my paintbrush. Like, it makes no sense. The pink isn't on the paintbrush, yet the white went pink. It's so weird. Never seen that happen before. And it only seems to happen with this red. Don't know what's going on. But anyway, let's get on. With the red and the white drying, I grabbed the Crusader Flesh Tone by the Army Painter, and this is a tiny, easy step. I'm just going to capture where his eye is. Now, different artwork shows different things. I've seen blue-skinned versions. I've seen human flesh versions. I'm going human flesh. Hopefully, it's just a tiny little detail. It's going to stand out against the white because it's a fleshy color anyway. So we should be good to go. Then I'm grabbing the Cloudburst Blue. Little change up for me. I'm doing his ray gun blaster Not entirely sure what it is at this stage. Should really look it up in the rulebook, but that's the gun is going to be done in this colour for a change of pace. Didn't fancy doing it grey, or with all the white that's on the model. So for a little bit of a Cloudburst blue would break up the model, make it look a little bit more interesting, a little bit different. And yeah, we're pretty much done at this stage. There's some highlighting that I'm going to do. But as you can see, this was a very quick, easy, straightforward model. If I'd have been a bit cleaner with the red early on, I would have saved myself some hassle in the middle there. But yeah, so easy. There's no reason you can't get this model painted up nice and quick, and he's on your tabletop, ready to go hunting some bounties down. Now, out of fear of this video being way too short, I'm going to show you some extra steps I took with the model after I got it to tabletop ready. Grabbed the Evil Sunz Scarlet layer paint from Games Workshop. I started picking out some of the higher areas on the model that I thought would just look a little bit more interesting with an extra pop of colour to it. It's a nice bright red. It's going to stand out against the contrast. Basically giving everything kind of a dry brushing, or I guess a heavy overbrushing. Just swiping down, making sure I don't get it in the recesses too much. It's just going to add an extra layer to it and make it pop just a little bit more than I normally do. To be fair, this is going to be the last step for me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're going to drop me a like and a comment and subscribe. I've received word that I'm receiving a parcel from Warlord Games. Hopefully it's my ABC Warrior set. They've kindly sent me one to unbox and review on the channel. Plus I bought one, so I'm going to have 2 sets, which is quite comical. I believe it should be arriving Friday, so we'll have an unboxing video as soon as I can. And I hope you're going to want to tune in and watch. There's already been a few videos out there, so you've probably seen what's in it already, but I hope you'll come and see me do it instead. I'll try and do my best to make it interesting. So, come along. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, drop me a like, drop me a comment, say hello, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers for watching.